Do you ever feel like you're stuck in life? Do you have a desire for something more, but don't know how to make it happen? Do you want to be a better version of yourself, fitter, happier, and living with more purpose and passion? Have you written off such fantasies as fantastical whims out of grasp in reality? What if the gap between your inner visions and external results is caused by a lack of imagination rather than a lack of capability? Your dreams contain enormous untapped power that is just waiting to be released. What if I told you there is a simple, time-tested method for manifesting the life you desire? Visualization is the key to realizing your full potential in the future. The process of forming a mental image of a desired future outcome, objective, or state of being is known as visualization. According to research, the brain processes pictured objects in the same way as it analyzes physical sensory events. As a result, regular visualization can have a favorable impact on the subconscious mind, causing it to become more aligned with the intended pictures. Elite athletes, successful business executives, and other high-achieving individuals have long used visualization techniques to program their minds to produce better results. Simply seeing a desired outcome, such as better health, professional achievements, or personal relationships, begins to imprint those ideas as realistic possibilities. The secret to success is repetition. Consistently visualizing the same images builds neural circuits that enable reaching the visualized results. According to studies, people who picture their future achievement on a daily basis have greater motivation, problem-solving ability, self-confidence, and spontaneity as their brains subconsciously guide them toward the intended result. Anyone may harness the power of visualization by mastering core skills, such as activating all senses to make visualizations feel real, and then committing to brief daily sessions to make visualization a habit. With regular practice, visualizing transforms dreams into real-world possibilities. It is critical to establish a relaxed, concentrated state, conducive to vivid mental imagery before participating in visualization. Begin by finding a peaceful place devoid of distractions, sitting comfortably with your eyes closed, and taking several deep breaths to relax your mind and body. Progressive muscular relaxation, beginning with the feet and working up, can help ease tension. Acknowledging and releasing worried thoughts or self-criticism may be part of clearing the mind. Setting a clear aim or goal gives the visualization session direction and inspiration. For example, one could concentrate on improving one's fitness, work success, or life balance. Starting visualization practices while already tired, whether first thing in the morning or before bed, can likewise circumvent conscious resistance and directly implant images. This pre-visualization procedure becomes second nature with repetition, and visualization can be conducted at any time and from any location. By establishing a mental foundation of relaxation, intention, and openness, vivid imagery becomes easier to achieve and more likely to provide tangible effects. The key to good visualization is to use all of your senses to create a realistic, multi-sensory experience in your mind's eye. Visualize the desired result, outcome, or new version of oneself in first-person detail. Textures, colors, shapes, and motion can all be added. Hear any associated sounds, such as your voice cadence as you accept an award, or birds chirping as you imagine yourself relaxing in a hammock. Inhale fictitious scents to heighten the reality. Feel the good emotions you'd feel in this vision as if they were happening right now. Foods connected with your visualization, such as champagne toasting a book sale or fresh mountain air on a hiking trip, should be tasted. The more sensory information incorporated in the vision, the more the brain views it as real life rather than abstract imagining. Negative components and concentrating on past mistakes should be avoided, as visuals should feel entirely real and grounded in the present moment. Recurring multimodal imagery conditions the mind to change the imagined into the actual over time. To effectively harness the power of visualization, it is critical to include it into a constant daily habit. Daily visualization workouts, like regular physical activity, train the mind to realize desired outcomes. Set aside 5 to 10 minutes each morning as soon as you wake up to imagine before negativity or distractions enter. This directly imprints images into the subconscious mind, influencing daily habits and judgments. Alternatively, visualize for a few minutes before going to bed to benefit from increased theta, brainwave activity, and circumvent inner resistance. Maintain discipline even when you are not inspired, like you would with physical activity. Keep a record of your efforts and discoveries to note visualization improvements and real-world manifestations. Update visuals on a regular basis to keep them current and in line with changing aims. Affirmations of positivity can help you overcome mental difficulties such as self-doubt. Visualization boards, featuring relevant photographs and quotes, for example, can assist reinforce practice. Visualizing goals or desirable scenarios repeatedly over time develops brain pathways to progress in their direction naturally. Daily visualization instills desired changes until they become unavoidable. Brief visualizations can be weaved throughout the day to reinforce goals or desired states in addition to devoted visualization practice. While stopped in traffic, envision yourself successfully completing an essential task at work. Imagine yourself radiating calm assurance during a tough meeting. Consider the most understanding and constructive end before engaging in a challenging conversation. When exhaustion sets in, visualize new vitality coursing through your body. Take a bathroom mirror break to view yourself in your best light. While waiting in line, imagine your next vacation. Set reminders throughout the day to visualize for 60 seconds. Attach visuals to established behaviors, such as looking in the mirror or hand washing. More repetition leads to automatic and reflexive imagery. The mind becomes accustomed to manifesting desired pictures into reality by incorporating brief visualizations into daily life. Even micro-representations maintain brain pathways that are poised for success. Soon, visualizing comes automatically, propelling you toward your goals. Visualization can help you improve your physical health and wellness. Visualize yourself engaged in healthy habits, such as eating nutritious foods, exercising regularly, and getting enough sleep. Feel energized and proud as you visualize your increased energy and physical capabilities. Improve your performance by mentally practicing excellent exercise techniques. Visualize unwanted weight dissolving in yourself at your ideal size and shape. Visualize the body rebuilding itself through restorative sleep, healthy nutrition, and relaxation to speed up healing. Visualize symptoms disappearing for chronic diseases. Consider the greatest potential outcome before undergoing medical procedures. Visualization can even boost the creation of endorphins, which are natural pain relievers. Visualization is often used by athletes to perfect abilities, prepare for contests, and recuperate from injuries. The mind has enormous power over the body. Visualizing the pinnacle of health on a regular basis teaches the body to make it a reality. Visualization is another effective approach for enhancing mental and emotional well-being. Imagine yourself quietly conquering nervousness and self-doubt while exuding confidence in difficult situations. Consider how tragedy and despair can be transformed into insight and growth. Consider developing connections that are brimming with mutual understanding and joy. To increase the inner calm and serenity, imagine your thoughts as still and serene as a tranquil lake. When you visualize yourself fully engaged in pleasurable tasks, it becomes simpler to achieve flow states. Feel spiritual happiness when picturing natural or meditative surroundings. Positive visualization of the present and future counteracts negative mental patterns. Consider the negativity as passing clouds in your imagination. Regular mental imaging exercise creates neural pathways that lead to desirable cognitive habits, emotions, and moods. What the mind continually imagines manifests in daily life. Make mental health visualization a part of your self-care practice. In addition to specific goals, picture your ideal life vision on a frequent basis. Imagine yourself living a life of purpose, fulfillment, and meaning in all aspects of your life: family, career, health, community, and personal growth. Make your graphics as detailed as possible. Consider your ideal career or service, which is brimming with enthusiasm and excitement. Feel the happiness that comes from meaningful connections and being surrounded by loving relationships. Consider radiating health and fitness while engaging in physical activities. Consider your ideal home atmosphere, whether it is a calm haven or a bustle of warmth and joy. Visualize yourself freely exploring your full potential and making a profoundly positive difference in the world. Allow your creative fantasies of your ideal possible existence to flow freely. Allow visualization to help you discover and define your key values and priorities. Then instill images in your head of living by those ideals on a daily basis. These broad life visions get embedded as your new reality with persistent practice, matching your daily decisions with your deepest goals. We may make the realms of imagination and possibility palpable via the power of purposeful visualization. We establish the mental blueprint for outward change by educating the mind to view desirable futures as present realities. Anyone can use visualization to attain their goals, develop healthier habits, increase their well-being, and create their perfect life. Consistent practice is essential. The more ingrained the mental images become, the more likely they will appear physically. The only limitations are those we set on ourselves. We have enormous potential that is just waiting to be realized, so go ahead and imagine the new you. The options are limitless. I would appreciate any feedback, insights, or consequences you obtain from experimenting with the visualization techniques presented here. Please share your thoughts in the comments, as we can all learn from one another on this path to self-actualization. Let us imagine and build better futures together. Have you noticed the universe trying to get your attention lately? A song on the radio that seemed personalized just for you, finding a lucky penny in an unlikely place, seeing repeating numbers almost everywhere you look? You're not alone, and it's not by chance. It's the universe signaling you. Philosophers and mystics have held this view of the inherent interconnectedness of all things since antiquity. We must learn to expand our awareness beyond the limitations of our five senses in order to access this hidden universal language. We must tune in through our intuition, emotions, and imagination. When we elevate our consciousness to a more receptive quantum-connected state, we begin noticing mysterious coincidences, synchronistic patterns, signs, and symbols. These are not random. They provide personalized guidance, Prepare to enter a world of hidden meanings aimed at your awakening. Your higher self is sending signals to lead you to greater enlightenment and life purpose. As ancient wisdom has told us, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. The universe is ready to teach and guide you. You only need to learn how to hear its hidden language. You are being called into the quantum realm, and your higher self is sending you signs that will help you find your life's mission and achieve greater enlightenment. As the old adage goes, the teacher appears when the student is ready, and all you need to do is learn how to understand the universe's secret language, because it is ready to instruct and direct you. Carl Jung defines synchronicities as meaningful coincidences that cannot be explained by cause and effect. They seem like pure chance, but they contain hidden messages and lessons for our spiritual growth. Synchronicities are like glitches in the matrix, windows into the profound interconnectivity of all things. They appear when we need guidance or validation that we are on the right path. By paying attention to them, we can begin deciphering the code to the universe's communication system. Synchronicities often manifest when we align with our inner purpose and trust our intuition. They confirm we are tuned into our destiny, that the universe is reorganizing events to support our chosen path. The people we need begin showing up. Resources land in our laps. Obstacles dissolve. We may have a serendipitous encounter that leads to a breakthrough. An unexpected life detour routes us to where we need to be. Inspiration strikes and creative juices flow. We have luminous dreams that shift our perspective. A book falls off the shelf with a profound message we need to hear. Moments of divine inspiration download directly from the quantum field into our awareness. Learning to recognize these pivotal synchronistic experiences teaches us how to read the omens and symbols the universe uses to communicate guidance. As our sensitivity to this hidden language grows, we begin to see life as a synchronistic event, an endless dialogue with the divine. We realize we are surrounded by loving spirit guides and angels, orchestrating synchronistic moments to help us remember why we came here. Numbers are the universal language of mathematics, the code underlying all of nature. Numerology has revealed the profound energetic qualities for every number, indicating how numbers influence us. When we notice a particular number sequence recurring in our lives, it signals guidance related to the properties of those numbers. Frequently seeing repetitive numbers like 111, 222, or 444 means you are aligned with your true path. The number patterns act like confirmation from the cosmic matrix that you are fulfilling your soul mission. The numbers serve to amplify and broadcast your intentions to the universe. They are like activating codes that sync you to higher frequencies. Master numbers like 11, 22, and 33 are the most powerful signals from the universe. They imply you are ascending to a higher level of consciousness and stepping into your full potential. Master numbers unlock your psychic abilities, creative genius, and connection with your divine self. Their repetition is a call from the universe to embrace your sacred gift and lead with your inner wisdom. When you repeatedly receive the same number sequence, pause and consider what message it is trying to convey and how you must adjust your path to fulfill your soul purpose. Know that you are continuously guided by the numerical synchronicities strewn along your journey. Read their signals to align your vibration with the sacred numerological codes that structure cosmic evolution. Numbers are the threads weaving your story into the grand tapestry of divine design. Beyond numerology, there are many ancient esoteric practices that can help decipher the hidden meanings within the universe's signs. drawing cards provides insight when seeking answers. The images and characters depicted on them are like messengers, with advice tailored for your circumstances. Reading tarot trains you to think symbolically and broaden your consciousness. The ancient Chinese I Ching uses a sacred numerology system to identify shifting hexagrams that offer wisdom. Consulting the I Ching reveals the energetic changes occurring and the actions aligned with this flow. It enables conversing with the Tao itself. By learning these esoteric languages, you become fluent in the cosmic dialogue. You can then cooperatively co-create with destiny rather than feeling lost or overwhelmed. Through divination, the universe reveals your spiritual purpose. The universe communicates in the language of imagery, myths, and metaphors. Recurring symbols and themes in your life are meant to tell a story and convey deeper significance. You must cultivate metaphorical thinking to comprehend the hidden meanings. Pay attention to symbols that emotionally resonate with you. If owls keep appearing in divergent contexts, contemplate the owl's symbolic meaning, wisdom, intuition, ability to see in the dark. Then reflect on how you need to activate those qualities in yourself right now. Consider how metaphors map concepts from the physical world onto psychological experiences to encode insight. For example, lighthouses represent guidance and hope during difficult emotional journeys. Rainbows embody spiritual promise after weathering life's storms. Dreams also speak in the language of symbolism. They use archetypal characters, settings, and storylines to dramatize your subconscious issues. By analyzing the metaphorical meaning, you integrate critical messages from your inner wise self. Even your daily life mirrors recurring themes. What situational motifs keep emerging? Do you perpetually experience issues around not being heard? Do you constantly feel lost in a maze when making decisions? The universe speaks through these lived metaphors. By consistently interpreting the symbols and metaphors woven into your experiences, you absorb the wisdom being transmitted in this ancient language. Their meanings enlighten your path ahead. Be receptive to the eternal story being told through this sacred imagery. The natural world has been divinized across cultures as a conduit for divine communication. Nature manifests signs and omens, reflecting spiritual teachings tailored to human seekers. The movement of animals, weather patterns, vegetation growth, all channel cosmic knowledge. Observe nature closely to detect subtle messages. Is a striking rainbow appearing at a pivotal moment? Does a bird seem to be crossing your path purposefully? Are you drawn to meditate under a particular tree? These signal divine guidance. Study animal symbolism. Deer may represent gentle innocence, while snakes imply shedding what no longer serves you. Listen also to natural sounds like birdsong or rumbling thunder that evoke insight. The moon's phases and cycles of the seasons hold spiritual significance. In nature, there are no accidents. Use a period of darkness to surrender, the blossoming of spring to catalyze new growth. Natural disasters contain harsh lessons. A raging fire signifies destroying what is no longer aligned to your path. Flooding demands emotional cleansing to make space for rebirth. Nature's destructive power holds promise of transformation. Signs are present everywhere and are part of the natural environment. A seashell you found while out walking might inspire you to pay attention to your inner voice. A blooming cactus can encourage tenacity in the face of challenges. You will learn to flow with life's unfolding purpose if you treasure nature's advice. We looked at the various ways the universe is directing you and providing you with information in these parts. Numerology, symbolism, divination methods, intuition, and the natural world are all channels for cosmic knowledge that is specifically tailored for your development. Understanding about achieving your soul mission develops as you become receptive to receiving and interpreting these messages. Imagine being free of the heavy bonds of anxiety and terror. Isn't freedom wonderful? What if I told you that independence is attainable? Fear and anxiety are unavoidable aspects of the human experience that everyone must confront at some point in their life. While dread and anxiety are natural in response to serious threats, persistent and excessive fear, concern, and avoidance behaviors cross the line into a domain that limits one's potential and capacity to fully live life. Most psychologists believe that anxiety disorders and crippling anxieties develop during childhood and are influenced by both heredity and upbringing. Childhood traumas or unpleasant events, such as abuse and neglect, the loss of loved ones, or even overprotective parenting, can sow the seeds of deep-seated phobias or illogical vigilance against perceived threats. Growing up in a home where parents or other family members display excessive concern and risk avoidance can also lead children to see the world through a fearful lens. Researchers believe that, in addition to upbringing, inheritable factors such as temperament can determine how susceptible one is to anxious thought patterns and the fight or flight reaction, when phobias become so powerful that they suffocate rather than protect. It is vital to understand their origins in one's childhood and biology in order to reduce their hold on one's life. Knowing where your personal worries come from gives you the ability to detect illogical or exaggerated anxieties that should be challenged. Catastrophizing or catastrophic thinking is one of the most typical mental traps that intensify dread and anxiety. This is an unreasonable cognitive distortion in which the mind exaggerates the likelihood and degree of a possible bad result. For example, someone who is scared of flying may focus on the minuscule probability that the plane will crash, while ignoring the enormous odds that they will arrive safely at their destination. For example, someone who is apprehensive about a job presentation may see themselves embarrassingly fumbling or going blank, but in fact a minor blunder would go unnoticed. When anxiety levels are high, it's tempting to lapse into absolute thinking, such as, what if the worst-case scenario occurs? Without considering the probability logically, catastrophic thinking increases fear reactions by making threats appear near and awful. It is critical to learn to notice when your thoughts are spinning in this unhelpful path. Once you're conscious, you can question the logic of your worries by looking at information and statistics, seeking alternative viewpoints, and questioning your terrible predictions. What is the possibility that the dreadful consequence will occur? What would the realistic implications be if it happened? Could you deal with it or recover? Returning to reasonable thought, rather than emotionally charged rumination aids in breaking the cycle of irrational dread. Remind yourself that while terrible results are possible in life, the worst-case scenario is rarely the most likely conclusion. When worried ideas are reframed, they lead to more balanced, reasonable expectations. Fear and worry have the awful capacity to skew our thinking and induce us to think about catastrophic future scenarios. When we are anxious about an upcoming circumstance, whether it is a work presentation, a medical operation, a financial choice, or any other scenario, our thoughts frequently go down an unreasonable road in which we exaggerate the likelihood of disaster. We create an imaginary scenario in which the worst conceivable event occurs, while disregarding many more likely good alternatives. For example, When we are apprehensive about delivering a speech, we envision ourselves standing motionless on stage, unable to recall the topic, evoking awkward silence and judging eyes from the audience. If we are nervous about a medical test, we may focus on a hypothetical bad diagnosis while disregarding the far larger possibility of normal results. This is referred to as catastrophic thinking, or catastrophizing in the world of psychology. It refers to a cognitive distortion in which we exaggerate the risk and potential effect of a negative result much beyond its realistic possibility. Catastrophic thinking traps us in a cycle of exaggerated what-if scenarios, generating anxiety and impairing our capacity to think clearly or keep perspective. Recognizing when our ideas are becoming catastrophic is a vital first step in breaking down this harmful thought pattern. We can intentionally redirect our focus back to a place of rationality, balance, and facts once we detect our minds wandering down this unproductive mental route. While unfavorable results are possible, we remind ourselves that the worst-case scenario playing out in our nervous minds is rarely the most likely conclusion. Keeping a rational perspective reduces anxiety and allows us to see circumstances more clearly. One of the most effective yet difficult approaches for overcoming excessive anxiety is confronting frightening events in a strategic, methodical manner. While avoiding anxiety-inducing scenarios may appear to safeguard us in the short term, it simply reinforces the erroneous assumption that imagined threats are too devastating to bear. For example, someone who is afraid of public speaking may repeatedly decline work presentations to avoid discomfort, but this merely reinforces the belief that standing out is bad. True progress necessitates deliberately exposing oneself to stressful stimuli in order to demonstrate that they can be tolerated. Making a fear hierarchy and gradually working up from least to most frightening is essential for systematic desensitization. Begin with moderate exposures to develop coping abilities before progressing. Concentrate on the present moment rather than the worst-case scenario during exposure. Stay in the scenario until your worry subsides and you realize no disaster has occurred. Celebrate your victories while seeking the help and accountability of loyal allies. Consistently confronting specific concerns in a controlled, systematic manner might progressively reduce their potency. While confronting concerns is challenging, it is the only way to replace avoidance with freedom. Fear and anxiety typically spread when people lack self-compassion and instead engage in harsh self-judgment or condemnation. Perfectionism and negative self-talk are frequently associated with increased anxiety and avoidance behaviors. Instead of responding with tolerance, care, and understanding, we reprimand ourselves or focus on mistakes. This keeps us trapped in a cycle of fear of being judged by others and ourselves. A compassionate and loving attitude toward oneself and one's situation is essential for conquering fear. Consider how you would react if a close friend confided in you about similar anxieties. You would most likely offer reassurance, validation, and a declaration of faith in their ability to overcome. Why not support yourself in the same way? You can learn to be your own strongest supporter and gently tackle harmful beliefs with time and effort. When fear or anxiety strike, one of the most common responses is to avoid the circumstance that is causing the symptoms. For some who are terrified of flying, this may imply driving great distances rather than boarding a plane. It may imply declining work assignments that need presentations for someone who is afraid of public speaking. Avoiding scary circumstances may bring brief relief and escape, but it is ultimately a harmful coping method. Avoidance reinforces in your mind that the circumstance is something to be terrified of, and that you are incapable of dealing with it. Every time you avoid a feared circumstance, you strengthen its grip on you. Furthermore, avoiding dreaded circumstances keeps you from ever discovering that the incident did not create as much anxiety as predicted, or that the worry passed fast without devastating effects. Getting caught in avoidance tendencies can drastically limit your life. The longer you let the avoidance response to operate, the more control you give up. It is critical to identify and overcome avoidance behaviors that allow concerns to endure. This may be extremely uncomfortable at first, but it serves to diminish the fear's exaggerated potency over time. Look for tiny methods to gently challenge avoidance tendencies every day. The anxiety caused by avoided events will progressively reduce with consistency. Letting go of avoidance frees you from imprisonment and returns you to a life of active participation. Self-esteem is merely feeling good about yourself, and when you feel good about yourself, you develop confidence. Confidence then builds self-esteem. Each one feeds the other. Once you get the rhythm going, you can accomplish almost anything. Self-esteem is just that, what you think about yourself. You have the freedom to think anything you want. Why would you ever want to belittle yourself? You were born extremely confident. You came into this world knowing how wonderful you are. You were so perfect when you were a tiny baby. You did not have to do anything. You were already perfect, and you acted as if you knew it. You knew you were the center of the universe, and you were not afraid to ask for what you wanted. You freely expressed your emotions. Your mother knew when you were angry. In fact, the whole neighborhood knew it. And when you were happy, your smile lit up the whole room. You were so full of love and confidence. Tiny babies will die if they don't get love. But once we are older, we can learn to live without love, but no baby will stand for that. Little babies love every inch of their bodies, even their own feces. They have no guilt, no shame, no comparison. They know they are unique and wonderful. You were like that. Then somewhere during your childhood, well-meaning parents passed on their own insecure feelings and taught you feelings of inadequacy and fear. At that point, you began to deny your own magnificence. These thoughts and feelings never were true and certainly are not true now. I want to bring you back to the time when you really knew how to love yourself. Mirror work is simple and very powerful. Mirror work simply means looking into a mirror when you say your affirmations. Mirrors reflect our true feelings back to us. As children, we received most of our negative messages from adults, many of them looking us straight in the eye and perhaps even shaking a finger at us. Most of us today, when we look into a mirror, will say something negative to ourselves. We either criticize our looks or berate ourselves for something. To look yourself in the eye and make a positive declaration about yourself is one of the quickest ways to get positive results with affirmations. I ask people to look in their eyes and say something positive about themselves every time they pass a mirror. And if something unpleasant happens to you during the day, immediately go to the mirror and say, "I love you anyway." You see, events come and go, but the love you have for yourself can be constant, and it is the most important quality you possess in your life. And if something wonderful happens, go to the mirror and say, "Thank you." Acknowledge yourself for creating this wonderful experience. First thing in the morning and last thing in the evening, I want you to look into your eyes and say, "I love you. I really love you, and I accept you exactly as you are." It can be tough at first, but if you stick with it, in a short time this affirmation will be true for you, and won't that be fun? You will find that as your self-love grows, so will your self-respect. And any changes that you find yourself needing to make will be easier to accomplish when you know that they are the right ones for you. Love is never outside yourself. It is always within you. As you are more loving, you will be more lovable. So choose new thoughts to think about yourself and choose new words to tell yourself how magnificent you are